Hello everyone, JKD, you can know physiology and more. Today is day 2 of strength, balance, strength, mobility, phase 2. I can't do a whole lot right now as far as like weights and whatnot. I'm very glad that I'm back, but I actually slipped on the ice yesterday out on a run. In the midst of a run, I was going like this, telling someone to, hey, go ahead and go. It was a car that was at a stop sign. As soon as I did, with my muscle contracts and everything like this, I landed right here is what's called your intercostal muscles. I'll explain in a minute. I landed right there on a road cone. You know, the orange cones frozen into the ground because when I hit it, it literally felt like a concrete post. You know, and so then I thought about it. I didn't think about it at first, and I'm like, okay, I actually worked all day yesterday. And then last night I was talking to my kid's mother, and she's like, you know, that cone was probably froze solid, so you probably hurt yourself worse than you thought. Okay, cool. So I actually went out to the emergency room earlier today, waited for over 3 hours, not got seen by anybody. And those of you who are from my area, you know, we honestly, a lot of times we're better off not having an emergency room. This is not my first bad experience like that, so I just left. But what I do know is I have a bruised back rib, possibly fractured, I don't know. But I'm doing my own therapy, just like everything else. I figured so many things out. I've done so much other things as far as my own therapy and whatnot. But what I wanted to actually talk to you about today is when having an injury. Okay, yes, we want to relax, recover, rest, things like that, but do some additional research. Just because a doctor tells you that this is what you should be doing does not always mean that's the case. I basically did some research and asked if there was any help that I would get from doctors as I was waiting for over 3 hours, that I would actually get as far as, besides them trying to prescribe me prescription drugs and painkillers, shit like that, right? And it said pretty much, at first it said, well, kind of yes, but kind of no. And what it said is, oh, well, they'll give you like nerve blockers and shit like that. I don't want none of that crap. I don't want to put any of that crap in my body. Said, I'm out. I checked out. I discharged myself out, and now here I am. But what I want you to realize is that even through injury, we must continue to keep our bodies mobile. I've had a couple injuries in the past, and way back in the day, I would have just kind of rested, relaxed, listened to things that doctors say. Now, please, don't get me wrong. There are a handful of good doctors out there, great ones even. Okay, they're very good physical therapists and chiropractors. However, just in general, it's not always the best advice just because that person has a PhD. I could go on and on about this for a period of time, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to tell you is this. The best thing you can do with an injury, yes, you're going to hear, you're hearing this right. The best thing you can do with an injury is to keep it mobile, keep it strengthened, and just continue to do whatever it is to stretch it out, to get your body moving. And then of course you want to rest and relax off and on, but you don't want to sit your ass down all day or lay down all day, to the fact of, where you're just going to tighten, because that's exactly what's going to happen with an injury. If all you do is rest and relax and recover and nothing else, done nothing to help stretch it out, nothing to help strengthen it. Number one, it's going to get weak. Number two, it's going to get tight, which is going to cause further pain. And then number three, it's going to be so much harder to actually get to where you want to be. Now, obviously, you want to rest and recover. So I'm talking about strengthening. Day one. So, for instance, I don't consider yesterday day one necessarily because I was working. Even though my job's not very physical, moving around, it hurt even to drive. And and I have a clutch, so I'm steering with my left hand. I literally had to have my arm over like this and steer and shift at the same time with my right hand, and I do deliveries. So the thing is focus on that balance, strength, and mobility. This is actually a good week for this to happen because what I'm going to do starting tomorrow is work with my resistance bands to actually help strengthen that and stretch. And all day today I'm going to do some mobility, which I've already done some. I'm going to do some more later. I'm going to, just keep my body mobile, and then I'm going to I bought a massager yesterday with heat. I'm going to do that. Maybe a little bit of ice, but I believe more in heat than ice because, especially with something like this, heat releases pressure. So what I want everyone to understand and grasp is that no matter what happens in life, there's always going to be moments where we're just going to feel like doing nothing about the situation. But I want you to do something, and I want you to do more about the situation. It's hard for me to even talk right now, if you can't tell, but guess what? I'm doing it, and I'm pushing through, and I want you to push through anything and everything possible. So do these things, believe in yourself, believe you can do it, and believe that you deserve it. Let's get out there and do more than what you did yesterday. Push yourself, and then smash, punch, kick that like button and continue to push yourself. Embrace more discomfort today. Let's go.